Okay. So, and I will explain here, of course, the BMV Express, because we think it's a very good idea to have this product available. So how does it work? BMV Express has a volume, or a guaranteed volume by the bank, by the guarantee bank. The amount is 105,000 euro. So the way is, the company is the applicant, and the company has to go to their local bank where they have their business account, and then they apply for the guarantee, and they get the decision very fast, during 24 hours. And that's not a joke, that's real. The second part is BMV Eigenkompetenz. You see the volume is a little bit higher. The process is more or less the same, but it takes around about 14 days, and the companies, the applicants, get additional services for coaching and consulting, and maybe this is one of the reasons why it takes a little bit longer to define what are the coaching needs. And last but not least, and then I will go back to the BMV Express. So the largest part of the program is BMV with a 1 million, with the amount of 1 million euro. And here it is necessary to get not only a statement by the local bank, it's also necessary to have a statement of the Chamber of Commerce. And then with that with that pre-statement, so to say, it goes into a panel where some specialists are united, and they will take the decision, and this takes round about 3 weeks. So with Express to Your Loan, this product offers the possibility to get the guarantee within 24 hours. Why is this possible? We heard a little bit about already in the morning session. Because of standardized processes, because of the relatively small amount of the guarantee, and because of the online processing, and I will show later on at the end of my presentation some screenshots how does it work. Kinds of loan, or for what is it possible to use? It's for investment, for inventories, or for equipment, and the costs are very low. You see, when that depending of the credit amount, 1% per year the company has to pay, and application costs only 150 euros. So it's very small money, and it's much less money as you would have to pay, or the company has to pay when they have to bring other securities to a bank. What is excluded from that program? Startups without a first balance, so it is necessary to have a first balance or a first annual statement, and it is not possible to reschedule other debts with that product. So what is the guarantee bank doing with the BMV Express? You see here the local bank loan is amounted up to 150,000 euro. Guarantee is giving up to 100,000 euro. So the own risk of the local bank is 45,000 euro, and that's quite small. But I have to say, the company owner or the entrepreneur has to give full security, a full personal security for the local bank. So that's according to the EU rules, as it would be explained to me. But anyway, it is very fast to get a credit up to 150,000 euro. So the approval, why is it possible to get it very fast? It's only a 5-point check. So the company has to send the first or one annual financial statement or a cash basis accounting, that depends on the legal form of the company, for one complete year and not older than 80 months. They have to show that they have a positive own capital, a positive cash flow, and that they have no negative properties. So in Germany it's not an overdraft more than 30 days or statutory declarations and so on. And last but not least, credit reform index, so that is a credit rating company in Germany, quite famous, better than 300. Yeah. And then when all these have a positive impact, then they get the approval, the companies. So advantages for the customer, it's a better credit rating for them because it's own capital for the companies. So a real-time answer, of course, it's a little bit high, but anyway, they have the companies have a very fast answer, mostly an approval. So in 2011, more than around about 99%, and in 2012 it was more or less the same. So it's quite successful for the companies. They have a sustainable guarantee for the companies. They don't have to bring every year a new paper which may underline that the guarantee or the securities are not in debt. They have a better pricing despite the costs of other kinds of guarantees, and they have no other additional costs. What is important from our point of view for companies, for young companies. So advantages also for the guarantee bank, I have to say. The bank has a better diversification, good and bad risks, you know. They have easier processes, and they have a permanent order inflow during the whole year. So in 2012, for example, the bank got around about 100 applications for the BMV Express. So you can imagine every month between 10 and 20. So how does it work? It is an online process, as I already mentioned. So online application, the approval in less than 24 hours, and later on they have to send the original documents to the bank, and they will get then in the next step the postal delivery of the guarantee certificate. So here some screenshots. I hope it is to see. So you see that's real life number of applications and some passwords, and here some checks what was to check, and is it positive. So positive cash flow, positive own capital, as I already mentioned before. And here, so what is legal form, and what is the purpose of the company, and so on, and how many employees are at the company, are working in the company. And here they have to write down for what they want to use the money. Is it for an equity, or is it for housing, and so on? And here, where can the money come from? So that brings me to the end of the presentation with some conclusions. So the bundling of the credits and the guarantees deliver a better process without growing risk for the home banks. So that's important, especially in times of Basel III, for the banks. The home banks, they have advantages because of the fast decisions, and of course for their customers it's sometimes quite important to have a fast decision when you mentioned it's a project financing and they have to finance the start of a new project. So all participants have a benefit. It is a very successful product of the guarantee bank. As I mentioned, in 2012, round about 100 BMV Express, and in total it was 220 or 230 applications. So that it shows around about 50%, a little bit less than 50% of the applicants wanted or asked for the BMV Express. And of course, furthermore, it is the idea to develop the small and medium-sized enterprises. So Mecklenburg-Vorpommern is a Bundesland where a lot of small and medium-sized enterprises are working, and therefore it is a tool which fits to our country and to our companies. Thank you very much. Any questions?
You mentioned about positive own capital. What does it mean? Could you explain this?
So when you have a balance sheet, then you you have an own capital. For example, in Germany, it's necessary to founding a company with limited liability. You have to spend 25,000 euro at least. So it's possible then when you have some losses in the first years, yeah, you can write it down. You can survive with less than 25,000 years. You can also survive with less than zero. Yeah, it's possible as long as you have cash in your pocket. And if you have less than zero, then you have a negative own capital.
Yes, Mario, hanging on to that question, you had your 5 points or 5 checkpoints that have to go. Are those based on historical data or are they based on estimated future data?
So when you have the annual statement, of course this is an historical statement, yeah. So more or less they are all historical when I'm right.
So that would mean that if a company had a negative cash flow, they are disqualified, even if it looks very promising in the future.
Yes, it is. So maybe then otherwise there are other tools to help them for venture capital and so on and so on. When you want to sell an idea or to promise it is good, could be a good future for the company, then the guarantee maybe is not the right tool from my point of view. It's better to have then a venture capitalist or private equity in that sense.
Is a negative cash flow, a negative balance sheet from the last business year, which was closed, really disclosing them from the process totally, or is there another path for individual negotiations still? I can imagine that if they have a paper proving the current situation and a sound forecast for the next period, there should be still a way to get a guarantee, or is this totally excluded?
Is das ein Strengungskriterium? It's an exclusion. Yeah. So the idea then it's okay. Come back 1 year later.
Okay. Any more questions? Great. Well, thank you very much, Mario.